It begins with a dream.
Gosh, I want to be somebody.
That was his dream, to come to America.
And then there was a journey.
I knew I was coming to America.
A land of opportunities.
To make money, this is the place to be.
But for some, the dream can seem like a nightmare.
People were just dead set against us.
It's pretty tough.
I was wishing to die.
Lucho was finished.
Until one day, the dream becomes a reality.
I knew that I can reach every dream that I will have.
I was in shock. How could that happen?
When you know in your heart you're going to do something, you can do anything.
Some of Houston's most celebrated immigrants share their incredible struggles and how they found success by coming to America and making dreams come true.
In America, there is no boundary for that. You can go from the very bottom to the very top.
It's the spirit of freedom.
The freedom to be able to do anything that you want to do.
It's the spirit of family.
It was a very, very tough struggle.
It's the spirit of America.
There is no other place in the world where you can turn your dreams alive.
Next on Deborah Duncan. America has always been a land of freedom and opportunity. But on 9/11/2001, America's strength and liberty was tested like never before. From the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in New York to the hijacked plane which crashed into the Pentagon, the horrific images out of New York and Washington have taught us all that even in America, freedom sometimes comes with a hefty price. America's greatness has always been rooted in her people. On today's show, you'll meet some of those people, immigrants, who learned the value of freedom firsthand by coming to America and working hard to make the American dream a reality. And you'll see why they believe America's freedoms should never be taken for granted. The Cleburne Cafeteria. It's a Bayou City institution, and for more than 60 years, the Cleburne has been a place for families to gather for great food and good friends. But some people may not realize the hardships involved to keep the Cleburne alive.
Especially in the beginning, every payday we were praying we had enough money to pay the help. It was very, very difficult.
For immigrant Nick Mickelis, it was all part of a dream, the American dream. Your father was working in this business straight up to the day that he died.
Yes, he was.
But did you see it in his eyes, the pride that he was able to accomplish that American dream, and then died knowing that you were going to take that dream even further?
You know, I think I did. I think one time I noticed it more than ever before was when we were preparing the Thanksgiving turkeys, and we do a lot of boxed turkey dinners because moms don't cook anymore like they used to in the old days.
They don't have time.
And I just saw him just standing there. I said, Pop, I call him Baba. That's what you call your dad in Greek, Baba. I said, Baba, what do you like? Just kind of just nodded and said, I just can't believe we're cooking this many turkeys. I just can't believe it, you know. And I could just tell he was really impressed with the fact that we had built this business from maybe a dozen turkeys at Thanksgiving to well over 200 turkeys at Thanksgiving, and now well over 500. And he said, you know, you just don't know how much anxiety I had in trying to teach you this trade, the cafeteria business, because I really wanted to leave something to you, and I didn't have a formal education, and I didn't have the things that a lot of the men in this country have, but I really wanted to teach you this business. And that's how I learned it, through my mom and my dad. The move from the island of Patmos, where he was born, which is a small island out in the Aegean Sea, off the coast of Greece, to America is a monstrous move. And to come to this country and not speak the language, and to leave your father and mother and all your family behind.
When he decided to come to America, he went to Athens. It took him 1.5 years to get a number to get out of Athens. You know, he had to go to the embassy every day. They would never say, come in a week, come in a month. They'd say, come tomorrow. So every day he thought, well, maybe tomorrow I'll get it, you know.
Did he tell you why he never gave up on that effort, why he kept coming back?
Oh, he wouldn't have dreamed of it. Wouldn't have dreamed of it. That was his dream, to come to America.
And come here to a brother who he had really not known him, was a much older brother that had been here almost 20 years before him, and to start scrubbing dishes and pots and pans and cleaning bathrooms.
And started washing dishes for $9 a week. And And my husband, being who he was very quick to learn. He was quick to pick up. We'd be in the kitchen, but he'd be watching what was going on.
I mean, it's a very humbling experience. You feel lost. He told me it was very lonely. It was very difficult. And along the way, his brother encouraged him and helped him to gain his confidence. And then he met my mother and started to learn the language.
Came through Ellis Island. Mm-hmm. Did he ever describe to you what it was like when he got off that boat?
He got off the boat and out of at Ellis Island and had a little note on him saying Houston, and he came by train.
Family was very important to him. I've always felt, and my sister I think would say the same thing, we felt like we were the centerpiece of his life. He had so many little maxims for hard work, and that's all I remember growing up is you're going to work hard.
Yeah.
And good things will come from hard work.
Yeah, and it did.
It did. It's true.
On any given day, do you feel like your dad's still with you?
Absolutely. All the artwork around the cafeteria, every painting he's painted in here has a beautiful story behind it. And I cherish the memories that he's given me from that, and I feel like I'm in the same business. I was at the farmer's market the other day, and just the smells of the market instantly took me back to being a little boy with him. And he would carry me on his shoulders, and we'd pick out the greens and the tomatoes, and so there's no question. I feel a great honor to be in the same business my father was in. I always said growing up, I want to be just like him, and basically I'm doing the same thing he's doing. Each person has a beautiful story to tell. And I think my father, he really ingrained that in me at a young age. Said, you know, you learn a different language, you learn a different culture, you learn something new about somebody else, and you learn something new about yourself as well. And in so many countries, there are so many restrictions and containments on what you're able to accomplish, and you're only able to go to a certain level and no further. In America, there is no boundary for that. You can go from the very bottom to the very top. I mean, you can go to doing anything to becoming president of the United States. I mean, it's all open here in America, whereas in other countries not. So I think more than anything else, the freedom to be able to accomplish anything you set your mind to do was something that he says is so important, so beautiful to be able to have in this country that is not available in other countries.